When I open this file in Illustrator, I wanted to point out a couple things going on here. First of all, I'm going to go into my layers. Remember, navigate up to Window and locate Layers. So I'll tear this off so you can see a little bit more detail. I have the image that has been actually placed by File in Place, placed into Illustrator. So this is a bitmap or a raster graphic, meaning it's made up of pixels. I also have a second layer called Drawing Layer. You want to make sure that your image layer is locked. You don't mistakenly want to select that and move it around, especially once you start drawing. You need to make sure the drawing layer is your active layer because that is the layer you are going to draw on. Now I'll zoom in a little bit. I'll use Control and Spacebar to zoom in. Use my spacebar to kind of relocate here. So in this case, I'm going to use my pen tool here and I'm going to trace around what I see. And the key here is draw what you see, not what you think you see. Many times people think that they see something that actually looks or is in real life something different. Another note as far as your fill and your stroke. You want your fill to be set to none, so that we don't end up having it block. If I have that set to the default of white and stroke of black, and I go out here and start dragging, you'll notice that it'll try to fill in that area with white, not what I want. Okay, so I'll undo this. So I want to have a fill of none. Now the second thing, I probably want my stroke color to be a color that's easy to identify, meaning I don't want it to blend in and have a hard time seeing it. So for the purpose of just drawing, I'm going to set it to maybe a red or a bright green so that I can see it a little bit clearer. At the end, I can then convert this to black. I'm not looking for any fills in this exercise, basically just an outline of the objects here. So if I go ahead and click and drag here, a couple of other key points. Remember, less is more. I don't want to have a ton of anchor points in here. The less anchor points you use, the better off you will be. Now in this case, let's zoom in just a little bit closer here. I like to zoom in very close when I'm drawing. Now in this case, this path is going to change direction. I already let up on my key. I didn't use my modifier key of Alt. So instead, I'm just going to go back and click right on top of that anchor. And now I broke it. It's actually a corner. So I can go here. I can go here. So it's up to you how much detail you want to put into this. But again, the less points, the better. And the other thing is perfection is not necessary. For this case, this is kind of a little bit of an arch there. That's maybe not what I wanted. Once I'm done, let's go back to my direct selection tool. I can click any of these points and change them, alter them. In this case, I need to take this path and bring it down just a bit. And I can do that by clicking on the path as well, remember. I'll shrink this handle down a little bit. Now with my pen tool active, I can go over existing paths and either delete or add. So remember that you don't have to be perfect the first time around. You can actually go and tweak things as we go, so to speak. Okay, and I probably want to add another point there because I'm not liking how that looks. Now once I have some of this drawn, I would back up and I would turn off my bottom layer to see exactly what I have. Again, you're drawing what you see, not what you think you see. What probably would have been a better approach to this specific shoe was to break this up and do one huge outline of the shoe, then do the sole, then do the stitches, and then the laces, and then the inner part of the shoe that's visible. So that's basically how you're going to approach this exercise.